Welcome to Winston-Salem as we're getting ready here for Wake Forest hosting the Delaware Blue Hens. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. It's senior day here at Wake Forest. 30 seniors being celebrated here at a Legacy Federal Credit Union Stadium. Damon Claiborne among those 30 players. Obviously a beautiful day for those seniors here at Wake Forest. Here are the standings. Wake Forest looking to have their first winning season in the ACC since 2021. They have one more ACC game after this. Jake Dickert looking to make that happen. He's with Victoria.
Back-to-back wins. What's been the mindset this week?
Well, that's the past. I mean, we just focused on our 31 seniors, honoring them today. I told them in the locker room before the game that emotion have built that the last 11 months. So proud of these guys, but they got to channel that, harness that, and put that into their performance.
Speaking of senior day, also last home game of the season, how are you controlling the hype with all the guys?
Well, just being ourselves. You know, it's going to be a great environment. We just got to play hard. We got to put all of our focus into our strain, our job, and then obviously finishing every play. This is a good Delaware team. We got to play well today.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right, go Deeks.
All right, Victoria and Coach Dickert, welcome inside a Legacy Stadium alongside Super Bowl champion Rodney McLeod and, of course, UVA Cavalier. I'm George Sedano. You saw Victoria Arlen moments ago with Coach Dickert. Rod, let's start with these two teams. Big picture thoughts on Delaware and Wake Forest.
Yeah, they're both fighting for something today. Delaware, they're chasing a winning season, first time in the FBS. And then on the other side, Wake Forest, head coach Jake Dickert, he is chasing, putting his mark in the history books at the top of the list for the most wins as a first-year head coach.
Yeah, it would be 8 if he gets there because he's got 7 at the moment. So let's take a look at this game, though, now. How do these two teams look to be successful today?
Yeah, these offenses are structured completely different. Delaware, they're a fast-tempo, fast-break offense looking to get up a lot of plays and chase explosives through the air. Wake Forest secondary is a tall task for them. The question is, are they up for the challenge? And then Wake Forest, they want to do their dirt. Their game is won through the ground game. Damon Claiborne, Robbie Ashford. So Delaware, it's important for you to crowd the line of scrimmage to stop this Wake Forest rushing attack.
You mentioned Damon Claiborne. It's time for Is It In You, brought to you by Gatorade. What does Claiborne bring to the table?
Damon Claiborne, he is a dynamic football player, and not just when he touches the ball in the backfield, but out in space, in the passing game as well. He has really good vision in the hole. He has long speed, elite speed. So when he hits that second level, he's very dangerous. And look, they're going to look to give him the ball 25 to 30 touches. You don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to in order to win the football game.
Claiborne, 812 yards, 9 touchdowns this season. That's Ryan Carty. Delaware Lifer was a backup quarterback at Delaware his 4 years. His last year, the backup to Joe Flacco for the Blue Hens. And our returner here for Delaware is Myson Pollard. And the kicker is Cal Joseph for Wake. And a touchback to begin this one. So Delaware's offense will come out on the field. Nick Minicucci is their starting quarterback. 3,056 yards this season. That's the second most in FBS this season, Rod.
They throw the ball all around the field, man. It's because of Nick Minicucci. He's a competitor. He's a guy, gunslinger is like how I like to call him, and he's an underdog. So, look, he's ready for the moment. He embraces it, and it should be an incredible day for him.
So Minicucci, that fast-paced offense that you discussed, Rod, there he is on a sprint to the right. Quick toss to the outside, and out of bounds near the 30-yard line is Sean Wilson, who had a monster game last week, 9 catches for 162 yards.
Yeah, that's one of Minicucci's favorite targets is Sean Wilson. He's a guy that can elevate with the best of them. He wins one-on-one matchups. They throw 50-50 balls a lot of times, and majority of the time, Sean Wilson comes down with them.
2nd and 4 for the Blue Hens. High snap, but he gets it to the tailback, pushing forward, has enough for the first down. It's Byron Ellison Jr. Let's take a look at Rod's nods for Wake Forest today.
Yeah, Wake Forest, this defense, they have to be disruptive in the pocket. This defensive line has to come to life to affect Minicucci. And then on the back end, those 50-50 balls that I talked about that's going up to Sean Wilson and the Places, they have to be willing to stop them and come down with a couple today.
They get that first down on the ground. They will throw it at least 40 times in the air by average. There's Minicucci again, wide of the mark this time. Karan Prunty in coverage on Sean Wilson. We'll see those two locked up plenty today.
Karan Prunty, one of the better cornerbacks in this ACC conference. He doesn't give up a lot of completions, and there you saw just good sticky coverage on the outside early in this ball game.
4 wide receivers out there. You see a diamond formation at the top of the screen for the Blue Hens. 2nd and 10. Excuse me. Here we go. On the ground, it's Ellison.
And even though, George, they do throw the ball 40 times, they do run the ball as well, just to keep the defense honest. But here we are, this 3rd down. This defense is going to have to come to life. Look, this is where they need to make their mark. They make their presence felt. Hazelton talked about it. 3rd downs, the defensive line has to come to life.
And now it's 3rd and 6 here. Minicucci, pressure coming backside, flushed out, throws on the run, wide of his mark. Max Patterson, the senior from Arlington, Virginia. Braylon Johnson in coverage.
Really good coverage in the back end on that play. Just staying in phase with their receiver and being able to just affect the throw. Really good underneath coverage, forcing Minicucci to put it in the right spot and make a very accurate throw, and just a good first drive by the Demon Deacon defense.
Yes, they will force the Blue Hens to punt. Brendan Locke to punt. Carlos Hernandez. He's been an adventure back there at times. Some good moments and some bad ones where he's fumbled. He will field this one and taken down immediately near the 15-yard line. So the Blue Hens doing their thing. Raymond with the tackle on Carlos Hernandez.
A really good tackle on that play. You don't want to give Hernandez too much space. He's really got that hot hand going right now.
So Robbie Ashford comes out dealing with a thumb and knee injury, but feeling good enough to play in this one. Has played the majority of these games this season. They talk about his competitiveness when we spoke to Jake Dickert, and Rob Ezell, his offensive coordinator, says sometimes you got to calm him down a little bit. 16-yard line is where they begin. And Claiborne breaks free into the open field, picks up the 1st down as he's down to the 29. KT Say eventually brought him down.
Claiborne, he's the workhorse for this offense right now. And there you go, first play. Just nice inside zone play. Good blocking from the offensive line, creating space inside the tackles.
Claiborne again, right up the gut. Gets to the 33-yard line.
This is Wake philosophy. They want to run the football. They want to control the clock. They want to stay ahead of the chains. And so it's imperative for them to do well on 1st, 2nd down. And they love to do it with Damon Claiborne, and Robbie Ashford would also play a role as well.
You saw those numbers there from last week against North Carolina. Wake Forest beat them 28-12. 2nd and 6 for Ashford. Hernandez in motion, play action, pressure in his face, rolling out. He gets it to Hernandez near the sideline. He turns upfield and taken down past the 35 to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down upcoming. You saw Malumba there on that blitz. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Deeks.
And that's where Ashford is dangerous when he's on the move. He has the ability to escape pressure very often, and now he puts his team in a 3rd and short situation, which I'm sure they're going to go to their bread and butter, which is the ground game.
3rd and 2 now for Ashford. Look out with his legs. But they hand it off this time. They're trying to get Claiborne going here. He has enough for the 1st down as he gets to the 40-yard line. Claiborne is one of those guys. He's a home run hitter, as we talked about, Rod. And, you know, Rob Ezell, the offensive coordinator for Wake Forest, told us when he gets going, he doesn't just get the offense going, he gets the defense fired up.
Yeah, he said he sparks and gives life to the entire team. That's just the impact that he has. And they're already making sure that he gets the ball a lot this game.
Yeah, and he's getting another carry here. Claiborne picks up 4 yards there.
And look, his senior day. You know, Claiborne, he wants to leave his mark on this stadium, place his name in history books. You know, he's done a lot for this program.
So Claiborne has 4 carries already. They bring in Ty Clark to spell him. Pistol formation behind Ashford. 2nd and 6. And Clark gets the carry. Big hole on the left side. He'll pick up the first down as he dives forward into Blue Hen territory to the 45-yard line. An 11-yard gain.
A really good pickup right there by Clark. Again, look, when it comes to this Delaware defense, they have to be gap sound. You see it showing itself already. They have to be stout in the run game, and then you have to turn Ashford into a pocket passer. Don't allow him to get on the move, force him to drop back and pass the football.
Play action for Ashford with plenty of time to throw. Now pressure comes, and he sails it over Chris Barnes' head. Incomplete. They'll do it over again, 2nd and 10.
The run game has been Delaware's Achilles heel defensively. They haven't done a good job at really limiting the rushing attack with their opponents. Over the course of the past few games, 100+ yards they've been giving up to an offense. And today, the Wake Forest, they specialize in running the football.
We saw Chris Barnes earlier. He had been hurt and injured. Now Micah Mays gets this one on the tunnel screen near the sideline, gets close to the marker. Mays also dinged up and back in action today. It'll be 3rd and 3 upcoming after the gain of 7.
Yeah, really good having Mays and Chris Barnes back in the lineup. You know, it gives them more weapons to utilize. And here they are, third and 3 situation, exactly where they want to live, where, again, they have the option now to choose whether or not they want to run the football or they want to hit the pass game. And when they like to pass, they like to give Ashford on the move in these situations.
So 2 receivers, check that, 3 receivers now out there. Sawyer Racanelli in motion, pressure coming right up the gut, and Ashford misses Damon Claiborne out of the backfield. It'll be 4th and 3 upcoming. Pressure there by Noah Matthews, the senior from Delaware, a former Kentucky transfer.
Yeah, really good pressure off the edge there by Noah, and just affecting Ashford just enough because he had Claiborne wide open, and that would have went for a long gain.
So they're going for it here on 4th and 3. Wake Forest has only gone for it on 4th down this season 18 times.
You see them in an empty set, George. That right there gave the quarterback an identifier. Are they in man or zone?
And Delaware's the worst 4th down defense in the country this year. They toss it, a quick stab there out of the backfield by Claiborne, tiptoeing down the sidelines, trying to maintain his balance. He does finally go out of bounds inside the 20. A 13-yard gain for the Deeks and Claiborne. A missed tackle there by Myson Pollard.
Good job by Ashford by identifying what the defense was in, finding Claiborne in the flat, and getting the ball to him in space where he's most dangerous.
They will mark Claiborne out at the 25-yard line with the 13-yard gain. But they are getting it early and often to Claiborne. He's now on the sideline. Ty Clark III in there again. Had a nice run on his first carry. Hernandez in motion. Clark on the inside run. He busts the tackle, heads towards the outside and out of bounds inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. A 12-yard gain and a first down for Ty Clark. And the Deeks are in business.
They are in business indeed. And Delaware, they're going to need to put more guys up into that line of scrimmage to slow down this run game.
Ashford to Clark. Clark up the middle, gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. 5-yard gain.
And Ty Clark, he's a dependable running back for this group. 3 down back. He can do it all. Pass protect, run the football, and catch the ball out the backfield.
The sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. Ashford drops back all day. Floats one to the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Sterling Burkhalter. Jamarion Calabodi in coverage.
Yeah, Calabodi just fighting well on the outside and trailing the receiver there, using the back line as his defender. That's what you teach your defensive backs in the red zone area. And so just a really good play by the freshman there.
Yeah, the Fort Wayne, Indiana native, and he's been coming on of late, getting in that rotation, and a good moment for him there. 14th play coming up here. 7 rushes, 7 passes. Play action. Ashford on the roll, dumps it off to Racanelli, and he's inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line. They will place him. So a 7-yard gain, 1st and goal for the Demon Deacons.
Again, getting Ashford on the move is one of his better throws. He's most comfortable out there.
They hand it off. Claiborne burrows his way forward. Touchdown, Wake Forest. They strike first. Damon Claiborne, 5 carries, 24 yards and the touchdown.
Just a really good drive by this offense. Everything was driven by the run game and put on the shoulders of the offensive line. Look, when you have running backs like Claiborne and Clark and you create lanes for them in space, they'll do the rest. They're fully capable of doing that.
And we have all sorts of flags on the field as Wake Forest started off in a swinging gait and then ran back into formation to kick it with Connor Calvert. So we had a penalty there. It'll be full start on Wake Forest, and they'll move them back. Sometimes those trick plays go sideways on you, Rod.
Yeah, they can, and you know, you try to use them as an advantage, and there it turned into a disadvantage, unfortunately.
The extra point for Calvert. He splits the uprights. 15 plays, 84 yards, 5:58 off the clock. A touchdown run by Damon Claiborne, his 10th of the season. Wake leading 7-0 here on Senior Day. 128th meeting of Cal and Stanford in the big game. The ACC Huddle Final Score crew wraps up the whole day. They'll have the biggest stories, break down all the games. It's all available on the all-new ESPN app. Kelsey Riggs Cuff and Company will have that for you. Wake Forest, 7-0 here. Their defense about to take the field. By the way, their defense has gone 140 minutes without allowing a touchdown. You got to go back to week 10 at Florida State. We were there for that one, Rod.
Yeah, and we've seen in these last 2 games just very stingy defense from them, not allowing any touchdowns.
And they will take the field again, but we'll step aside first. Before that, again, Wake Forest leading here on Senior Day, 7-0. Defense, Rod, averaging 4.52 yards per play. Scott Hazelton's defense, the 10th fewest in the nation.
And that has a lot to do with them doing the things that take zero talent very well. Pursuit to the football, effort, like selflessness, just their attitude, their don't flinch mentality. Like, they possess all of those things, and it's allowed them to play well as a collective unit.
There's Jaden Loving, excuse me.
Yeah.
They say he is the biggest talker on the field. You can hear him from a mile away. He gets them going on that D-line. 2 tight end set for Delaware. Ellison Jr., not much there. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, and a lot had to do with Loving on that play, George, on why they didn't get any yards. You know, just really stout in that inside interior part of that defensive line. And this is a defensive line unit that's very productive, both in their A and B group that they put out on the field. And they'll need them to show up a lot today with this fast break offense.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen for Delaware. Again, they average 40 passes a game, but we're seeing a lot in the run game at the moment as Minicucci picks up 1. Nick Anderson, Captain America, they call him. The big boss man on defense with the tackle. 3rd and 9.
Nick Anderson is a tackling machine. You know, he's always around the football. And there he is showing up and making his presence felt early in this football game, setting up this 3rd and long. And this is where this defense, they start to move around a little bit. They use their disguise as their strength to confuse and rattle the quarterback.
3rd and 9 for Minicucci and company. They bring the blitz. He lofts it up. Nobody home. Wake Forest's defense holds again Intended target seemed to be Duplessis, but way too far for his target. Good blitz there by Wake Forest.
Really good timing of the blitz too, George. Minicucci, you know, he didn't have time to see it. And that's one thing that they do well. You know, they cover up, they hide their looks, their pressures, and there was a timely pressure which sped up Minicucci and forced them to punt the football right now.
Brendan Locke to punt it. Carlos Hernandez set to receive. Got taken down immediately on his last attempt to return one. And this one will go out of bounds around the 40-yard line. We'll step aside. On the other side, Victoria will be with Wake Forest legend quarterback Sam Hartman, coming back here on senior day to see his old squad. So we'll chat with Sam in just a moment. They lead 7-0. Robbie Ashford, the quarterback, coming out. But another quarterback, the man who finished as the record holder in career passing attempts, completion yards, touchdowns here at Wake Forest. Second leading passer in ACC history. Sam Hartman, the legend, back here at Wake Forest. He's with Victoria.
I'm with the legend Sam Hartman here. Sam, you played 5 seasons here. What's it like being back?
It's been pretty cool. You know, it's been a while and just really cool to kind of be standing here and not be playing. And it's senior night, so obviously very special for a lot of people here, a lot of families. Some of the kids that I played with are, you know, kids. They're now seniors and are now grown adults, and seeing their parents and seeing some of those familiar faces and some of the familiar faces on the staff, and see A.D. Curry and President Wincy, all these people that kind of played such a pivotal role in my development. It's surreal, and you know, it's just really cool for these guys to go out there and keep playing the game that I love and they love.
What's impressed you the most about the Deke season so far?
I think resilience. I mean, I know from playing here is, sorry, guys. Oh, he's getting up. is I know that it's tough here. It's it's day in and day out. It's a battle, and you're always going to be playing the best of the best. And I think that their resilience and their ability to lead with the new coach and to come out here and just keep playing and just keep fighting and obviously put together a great year, be bowl eligible, to be looking to improve that. And so it's really cool.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, of course. Go Deeks.
All right, Victoria, thank you, and thank you to Sam. A quick toss there and a body slam there. Chris Barnes got driven to the ground by Kayshawn Cox Jr. and the Blue Hens hold. You heard Sam earlier mention, oh, he's okay, he's getting up. Robbie Ashford took a hit on second down earlier by Malumba, but here's the last play.
Yeah, two nice hits on back-to-back plays. But here they are lining up to go for it on fourth down, 4th and 1. They're going to try to push this thing forward with this offensive line.
And they converted on their last 4th down. Ashford sneaks through and taken down in Blue Hen territory at the 44-yard line. KT Say may have saved a touchdown, a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, just a nice quarterback power play right up the middle. Just allow Ashford to find the lane. And that it works to perfection when you have a runner and quarterback like Ashford.
They get it to Claiborne in space and almost breaks that last tackle there. KT Say again, the last line of defense. And that one going to be about a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 now for the Deeks. Ty Clark checking in for Damon Claiborne in the backfield. Robbie Ashford busy today. He's 6 of 10 in the passing game at the moment. 43 yards. 2 tight ends set out there for the Deeks. Play action on the roll. Ashford gets it to Hernandez. Hernandez has enough for the first down as he gets inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
This defense, they have to find a way to cut Ashford off. They're rolling a lot to his throwing hand, which is the right side. They have to pull him up in the pocket to get him to stop making those throws on the outside part of the field.
A 10-yard gain there to Hernandez. Ashford steps up. Now he's going to run for it. Gets through the hole and dives towards the marker. He'll be about a yard shy of the marker. Gavin Mole eventually covered him up after the 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1.
And one thing I noticed from Delaware's defense on this drive is they've now converted to a 4 down lineman set instead of 3 to control this run game a little bit.
And Clark still taking advantage of it as he picks up the first down, gets inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, a 6-yard gain. This Blue Hens defense looks a bit overwhelmed today.
Yeah, and the tempo is playing a factor right now too, George. They're not allowing them to get set.
Clark again on the right side, burst through for a touchdown. An 8-yard score for Clark. The Demon Deacons up 13.
Nice job by Wake Forest at switching up the tempo. They're not known for, getting up on the ball and going fast, but they found something, not allowing the defense to get set, and it worked to perfection. Just easy to do when guys aren't aligned defensively for the offensive line to move them out the way. And Clark finds a seam and takes it the distance.
And they're going for it. The 2-point conversion. Sawyer Racanelli in a wildcat play trots into the end zone. So 15-0. That was a Go for Dose brought to you by Dos Equis.
That's what they were trying to do the first time, and they caught the defense slipping, and they benefited from it.
$15-0, and Jake Dickert pulling out all the stops. To your point, Rod, the tempo is different. They're going faster against a team that normally goes fast, and I feel like Delaware's not going as fast as they normally go as well.
Yeah, they're not making the proper adjustments defensively to be able to stall this offense. And then on the other side, that's their biggest asset. And what I want to see from Delaware this drive is to put it in Minicucci's hands. do what you've done to allow you to be a top 5 offense in the Conference USA conference, and that's what they need to get back to on this drive.
9 plays, 59 yards, 3:29 off the clock on the last drive. They score 8 points there with the 2-point conversion. Sawyer Racanelli on the Wildcat play, the wide receiver. And now the boot by Calvert. That sails through the end zone. Delaware, 8 plays, 18 total yards, 1 first down thus far.
A lot of credit should go to this defense, but on the other side, you have to do what's put you in this position today, and that's Minicucci, and that's the ability of your skill players on the outside part of the field. So I'm looking for them on this first down to get back to that. Knowing this defensive line disruptive, throw some more quick game, get the ball out right now.
Minicucci back to the air, complete to Wilson. Picks up 5. Ladarius Webb Jr. all over him, though.
And that's like a run for them. Throwing the outcut, the quick game is a glorified run for this style of team, and that's what I'm talking about. Stay ahead of the chains.
4 wide receivers set. Inside shovel play to Ellison Jr. Picks up a couple, 2 yards, so 3rd and 3, much more manageable for the Blue Hens.
A lot more manageable right now, and you can do a number of things because Minicucci, even though he's a 3,000-yard passer, he can run the football. It normally shows in the red zone, but this is also a part of the field right now on 3rd and 3. This is a critical drive where we can see him pick up this first down with his legs.
And he likes to run it. There's no doubt about that. They say the play that calms him down, QB run or sprint out. They need to get settled at the moment. 3rd and 3. Minicucci. They bring a late blitz. The toss on the slant delivers on time and gets the first down to Jake Thaw. The Westport, Connecticut native, transfer from Michigan, picks up the first down.
And well drawn up play. They got man-to-man. They brought the motion over with Thaw. He beats Nick Anderson on a nice angle route back inside, and a good time and throw by Minicucci.
Ellison dragging the pile, picks up 5.
Yeah, Delaware needs to speed up the tempo too, because tempo does a number of things for you right now. When you have a defensive line like Wake Forest, it slows them down drastically, but it also clears the picture for the quarterback because you're forced as a defender to line up and get set and play ball.
First quarter winding down. And the Blue Hens content with going to the end of the quarter, trailing by 15 here. Senior day at Wake Forest. Looking good thus far for Jake Dickert and company. Downstairs with Ryan Carty, the head coach of Delaware.
All right, Coach, after one quarter, the Wake Forest defense is really giving you something to work with here. What adjustments are you going to make to be able to handle them?
For sure. I think on both sides of the ball, we really just need to get back to reading our keys, making sure that we're staying under control, taking it one play at a time.
Well, thank you, Coach.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Carty, as well. 2nd and 5 here. The run on the inside handoff. Picks up 2, check that 3, 3rd and 2 upcoming.
A good run play just to pick up, just to make this 3rd down even more manageable for Delaware. And here, you know, again, you're in a good position because you're going to force the hand of Wake Forest to play man-to-man on the outside.
Jake Thaw in motion. They give it to Ellison. Good patient running, spins out of trouble, dives forward, has enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, he barely made it out of there.
Yeah, it was close.
It was tight. You know, going more sideways than vertical, but he pushed forward and keeps the chains alive.
Frank Cusano with the pressure that made him change directions, and then Noor Gatkuth brought him down. But nonetheless, 1st down for the Blue Hens. Ellison in motion now. They fake it to him on a jet sweep, pressure up the middle, and tossed away and out of bounds for the Blue Hens. Zach Loavician with the pressure on Minicucci.
Yeah, Loavician, he was right in the lap of Minicucci the minute that he put the play fake out there and disrupted that play because he had some receivers open in the back end.
At the moment, the Blue Hens have not gotten into Wake territory. 0 plays in Wake territory. Meanwhile, Wake has 14 plays in Delaware territory today. Early here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 10. Minicucci. They pick up the pressure over the middle. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Nicholas LeBoy. And Ladarius Webb Jr. right there, right on time to break it up.
And there's the other cornerback coming to life, Ladarius Webb. Just really good technique on the outside. He was pressed up. He took the receiver, stayed right on his hip, and came across right when the ball was there.
Minicucci, 4 of 9, 17 yards. Delaware, 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. 3rd and long here. Wake brings the pressure. They holds up over there. Toss to the sideline is complete to Sean Wilson. They pick up the 1st down, and he lofted it up there, and Wilson came down with it.
Yeah, Minicucci on that play, just good ball placement. I mean, Sean Wilson, even with the cornerback, means throw back shoulder, and he threw it to where only Sean Wilson can grab it.
A 15-yard gain. They pick up the 1st down, and the first play for the Blue Hens in Wake territory. The handoff to Ellison Jr. Picks up a couple. 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7.
You don't realize how hard it is as a defender to run with the receiver down the field and then have to stop your momentum when the ball is thrown like Prunty had to do.
Looks like a flag here.
4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 3-play 1st down.
It was dropped on the sideline, the near sideline, so we could not see it initially. An illegal formation on Delaware, so they're heading back 5 yards.
That Minicucci and Wilson tandem is elite. You know, they talk about they study a lot of film together. Minicucci and his receivers seeing the game the same, and they trust each other.
Blitz coming again. Minicucci finds Ellison wide open out of the backfield. Ellison makes a man miss, staying on his feet, headed towards the end zone. Touchdown! And just like that, Delaware is back in this one. A 43-yard scamper by Ellison Jr. Byron Ellison Jr. made Nick Anderson miss and got his way to the end zone.
The pressure of Wake Forest hurts them on this play. Minicucci finds Ellison wide open in the flats. Somebody was supposed to peel with him, or somebody was supposed to have him in man-to-man coverage. It doesn't matter. He found a wide open guy, and Ellison did the rest in the open field.
Wake Forest burned by the blitz. Nate Reed, extra point is up and good. So Nick Minicucci started 4 of 9 for 17 yards. His last 2 passes netted him 58 yards and a touchdown here, as Byron Ellison Jr. did all the work to get the Blue Hens back in this one. Starts at 3:30 Eastern. Then finally, Cal and Stanford will meet for the 128th time. The big game starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Both also available on the all-new ESPN app. The Delaware Blue Hens strike back. They were trailing 15-0. Wake Forest was doing whatever they wanted really on the field on both sides of the ball, but Delaware able to get the ball out of the backfield to Byron Ellison Jr. A 43-yard reception, a career long for Ellison Jr. Let's take a look at that touchdown, Rod. You had mentioned earlier they needed to get the ball to the backs in quick tosses. They were able to do that and score this touchdown.
Yeah, this is a 5-man pressure designed from the top. The 2 linebackers is what you're going to look at. One is designated on the blitz. The other one is assigned to the running back. But because Ellison delays and it looks like he was going to stand for protection, the linebacker added, and that was actually his coverage on that play.
And a heck of a run there by Ellison Jr. too, breaking tackles. Guys were trying to swipe at his ankles.
Yeah, he did his thing when he got that ball in his hands.
Here's another good running back in Claiborne, upended after a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. Jack Hall, who's been dinged up, the grad from Richmond, Virginia, is in on the tackle. This Wake Forest team been a resilient bunch. That's certainly something that everyone we spoke to within the coaching staff has echoed. And we'll see how they respond here after the Blue Hens showed some life. Ashford in the gun. 2 backs in the backfield with him. He fakes the handoff, and he's wrapped up for the moment, breaks away, and then smartly throws it away. Pressure there by Ethan Saunders. Now the question is, was he out of the tackle box?
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback got out of the pocket before he threw the pass.
They say that he was out of the tackle box, so 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, and this is a position where Ashford has struggled the past 2 games. In these 3rd and 8+ situations when he has to drop back, stand in the pocket, and throw the football. But if I'm Delaware, I am aware of him running.
3rd and 9. They pick up the blitz. Ashford, there he is running, Rod, just like you said, a huge hole down the left side, making a man miss, still going down the sideline, and out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. A monster game by Robbie Ashford of 43 yards. That's got to be disheartening for the Blue Hens.
He's lethal in these positions. When he drops back, he assesses. He doesn't see what he likes, but guess what? There's a lane. If you're Delaware, you have to be mindful of containing Ashford and being disciplined in your rush lanes. There, they weren't, and it hurt them.
Pistol formation after the big gain. Now Claiborne gets a turn. And Claiborne taken down at the 30 by Gavin Moll, only a 1-yard gain. But Robbie Ashford, we talked about it earlier, Rod, thumb injury, knee injury. He's battled through a ton of injuries this year and kept the chains moving, kept this team alive, creating long drives for his team, even if they don't score, keeping the defense off the field to catch their breath.
Yeah, he's a resilient young man that's gone through a lot this year, not only battling injuries, but, you know, been in and out of the lineup too. And so here he is finding himself senior day, trying to will his team to a victory.
And there he is willing them again, tripped up after a short gain. Let's check in with Victoria.
You talk about that thumb and knee injury, George, and when I spoke with him this week, he said that I have been on this rocky road trying to get 100% healthy, and this is the closest I've felt to 100 in a really long time. I can throw easier, and I can run faster.
He's looking good today. We'll see what he cooks up here on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I expect Delaware defense to play man-to-man coverage, and this time they need to keep him contained in the pocket.
Wake Forest 3 of 5 on 3rd downs. Low snap, does get it out to Claiborne in space, tries to turn the corner, but out of bounds at the 27-yard line, we'll call it. It'll be 4th down. They've gone for it twice already, but they are sending out Connor Calvert, the kicker.
Yeah, take the points. Jake Dicker, defensive-minded coach. Take the points when you have them available.
A 44-yard attempt for Calvert. His long this season, 50 against SMU. Everyone remembers that one, the game winner. 2 of 2 from 40 to 49 this season. From the right hash. Boots this one and knocks it through. A 44-yard attempt is good. Wake Forest answers with a field goal. They lead 18-17 here in Winston-Salem.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Get yourself that all-new ESPN app. You saw there the SportsCenter for you. AI-generated Hannah Storm will get all your teams updated for you each and every day. And then, of course, on a Saturday, I mean, it's the best because you can put 4 games up at once. You got a quad box there. Fantastic stuff. Wake Forest's defense, there's where they rank in the ACC. Rod, where did they break down the last time when they gave up the touchdown, though?
Yeah, 3 things stood out to me, George, on that last drive. It was the 50-50 ball that really got them going with Sean Wilson. What we talked about at the top of the air is, you know, you have to be able to come down with those opportunities. And then the other 2 were just assignment sound football, and then a missed tackle by your captain, Nick Anderson, really resulted in that huge touchdown for Delaware.
We'll see how the defense responds. And Nick Anderson, they say he's the boss out there defensively.
He is. And I know what it's like, George, to be on the other side of a missed tackle. You know, you're not feeling well, especially when you're a guy that the team relies heavily on. So I expect Nick Anderson to come out this drive and, you know what I'm saying, get back to his style of and brand of football.
So meticulous in his preparation, they tell us. Got beat on that last play. And Akuchi throws it incomplete. Laid his receiver out to dry. Devon Patterson laid out Duplessis.
Yeah, Patterson, another enforcer in that secondary. Both Patterson and Anderson work very well together. You'll see Devon Patterson at that nickel spot a lot. He's just a savvy football player. And there you see him, has the flat route, but then he hinges back and is able to make an impact on that throw.
We talked about Nick Anderson, but the yin and yang there is Anderson Patterson. And they talk about him being a great teacher, a silent assassin out there, leads by example with the big hit on the last play. Ellison running through traffic, picks up 2 yards. 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Blue Hens.
3rd and 8. And Wake, I expect him to send some pressure in Minicucci's way just to speed him up, similar to what they did a couple drives ago. And so it's going to be imperative for Minicucci to identify what Wake is trying to do. Find your outlet and go to it right now.
So Delaware on 3rd downs. The first 2 drives 0 of 2. Last drive 3 of 3. We'll see what they do here. A quick toss to Duplessis. Nowhere to go. Wake Forest snuffed that thing out right away. Jaden Loving, the big fella out there in space.
They talk about it. Big men have to run out the stacks. And Loving is one of the more athletic individuals out there. And when he's identified screen, he got out that stack in a hurry and helped make the play alongside Patterson.
2nd 3 and out for the Blue Hens.
Those plays like that, George, are the reason why this is a top defense in this ACC and in this country, is because of plays like that.
Yeah, when the 5th-year senior who weighs 317 pounds can get out there, and they almost blocked that one. They run into the punter, Frank Casano. They're letting this one bounce. Hernandez gets out of the way. There is a flag on the field. The punter is still down. Locke. It is downed at the 17-yard line, but let's take a look at the flag. You see Locke limping at the moment as Casano ran into him on the punt block attempt.
Yeah, this might be a first down, George.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Frank Casano, redshirt freshman.
The ball was
Washington
not
State.
tipped. The ruling on the field is the ball was not tipped.
A Washington State transfer with Jake Dickert, and Locke gingerly walking off the field. Let's take a look.
Yeah, as he's coming through, he just runs right into the plant leg of the punter there. They talk about it. When you go through, you just got to lower your target a lot more so that you can clear the punter's landing. And there he just was a little too high.
And that keeps this drive alive, to your point, Rod. Wake averaging 69 yards and penalties per game, 6th most in the nation.
And those plays like that hurt you. You know, when you extend drives, especially to a team like Delaware, You know, you don't want to give them second chances. You want to eliminate that. And you just had a good series of plays now ruined because of a penalty on special teams. And special teams has won Wake Forest a football game in the last 2 games. A big punt return by Hernandez and 2 blocked field goals. So they take special teams very seriously here.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. They practice it as much as anybody. Yeah, to your point, against UNC, he had a big moment. And Virginia as well. Ellison Jr. hole plugged up quickly after a 1-yard gain.
I would have loved to see on this first down play, George, you have midfield. Take a shot. You know, you have momentum now. The defense has to come back out on the field. And so this is your opportunity to take a shot.
They've ran the ball a lot, I think, today. And they have 9 carries at the moment, 13 passes. Again, they pass the ball normally 40 times a game. So a different strategy today for the Blue Hens. Now they go to the outside on a pass. And wrapped up immediately is Sean Wilson, Karan Prunty all over him. We talked about that being a matchup to look out for today.
It's been a good one thus far. You know, Prunty gave up the long back shoulder to Wilson. But there he is, you know, coming up, making a firm tackle.
3rd and 7 for the Blue Hens. 3 of 6 on 3rd downs. Minakuchi with time. Now pressure coming. And taking down Minakuchi. Held on too long. Newark Gatkuth came down and took down Minakuchi.
Gatkuth just speed off the edge and just a good motor. Not giving up, not quitting, rallying to the quarterback. And if you're Minakuchi, you have to get rid of this football. Offensive line gave time, and if you don't see something downfield, you have to run. But good job by Gatkuth and just staying alive, man. 5 out of the last 6 games with a sack.
A 4-yard loss there, and Gatkuth, by the way, a sack on 6 of his last 7 games.
Yeah, and now 6 of 7.
Now 7 of 8. Yeah.
7 of 8. Yeah.
And the punt here by Locke, who's back in the game, to Hernandez, tries to run it and ill-advised there, but taken down at the 11-yard line. Wake Forest will start deep in their own territory. night at the Baja Mar Championship Consolation Game. 1.5 seconds left. Inbound pass to Spillers, who passes it to Colvin. He hits the three-pointer for the win. Wake Forest beats Penny Hardaway's Memphis team 69-68 on the Valpo play, the old Valparaiso play from the NCAA tournament back in the 90s. It was the exact same play. And speaking of men's basketball, back on the ACC Network, Duke hosting Howard tomorrow afternoon at 4 Eastern at Cameron Indoor. Then Monday night, Louisville taking on Eastern Michigan. Both available on the all-new ESPN app. Chris Barnes gets the ball here. He's got room to run down the sideline. One man to beat. Does he have the angle? He does, and pushes it out of bounds. Kayshawn Cox Jr. saves the touchdown.
Wow. Chris Barnes, an impact player, and they're glad to have him back. He just comes across the field in the backfield and is wide open in the flats there. And then there, it's just a nice hesitation move and does what he does best as an all-purpose runner. He's better when he gets the ball in space.
Ashford floats one, end zone, too far for his intended target. Carlos Hernandez, Nate Evans in coverage. 2nd and goal upcoming for the Demon Deacons.
That's the ability that Chris Barnes brings to this offense. You know, he's a weapon. You know, he can take it the distance, does a lot for this team, you know, outside of his just offensive productivity, but in the special teams aspect too.
Two tight end set here for Wake Forest. They toss it to Claiborne. He tries to squeeze through the tacklers there, gets inside the 5 to the 4. KT Say with the tackle. It'll be 3rd and goal.
And if you're Delaware, you have to play this like 4-down territory here, especially with this Wake offense and their ground game ability between Ashford and Claiborne. So you got to be really stingy here.
By the way, if you're Robbie Ashford, that play to Barnes, technically a rush because he threw it backwards.
Oh.
So that 78-yard play is a rush for Barnes. Ty Clark, speaking of rush, is in there. Ashford avoids one tackler, goes to the outside, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Deeks take a 24-7 lead. Ashford making things happen there. 5 plays, 88 yards on the score.
It's a well-designed play, George, and it helps when you have a quarterback like Ashford with good vision as a runner.
And a swinging gate play again. And they line it up for the kick with Calvert. Racanelli with the hold. The kick is up and good. 25-7, and Ashford doing it with his wheels.
Ashford doing it with his wheels, and more importantly, their identity is coming to life. They're a rushing team, and they're doing it through the ground, and that drive was done by Chris Barnes, and then to cap it off by Ashford. Again, a well-executed play.
The Deeks regain control now. We'll see if Delaware can respond before we go to the locker room. What do you want to see from Delaware?
Delaware has to find ways to push the ball vertically down the field. They haven't had many opportunities at any explosives. And so they pride themselves on being an explosive team. And on the other side, Wake Forest, they believe in eliminating explosives. They're one of the best in the country at it. And right now, they have the better hand right now. So Delaware, you have to attack the outside, give the receivers a chance to make plays.
Caleb Carlson ready to kick it off. And he boots this one. It bounces at the 10. Raymond picks it up, bobbles it, fumbles it. It's on the ground. There's a fight for it. And it's
just a miscue, dropped the football in the back end and couldn't recover from it. And again, this Wake Forest special teams unit coming up big. They talk about how one play can just change the game. And there you have it, right on display.
Raymond booted it. He bobbled it at first, misjudged it really, and then as he tried to scoop it, bobbled it a bit and kicked it with his own foot. Whitman Whaley again with the recovery. And you see Claiborne in the Wildcat gives it to Ashford. So a little trickeration there by the
Ashford
Deeps.
should have flipped that to Chris Barnes because they had space on the outside and numbers. It was a wall setup. 2 guys versus 1. I like those odds.
By the way, on the Wake fumble recovery, 10th fumble recovery by Wake this season, 8th most in the nation. 2nd and 10, 4 receivers out there for Ashford. You see 3 to the top of your screen in a diamond formation. Ashford is going to keep it and taken down from behind. Flag comes in late on the play. Blake Matthews brought him down. We'll see what the flag's about.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Melvin Ciani, the left tackle, Richard sophomore from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Temple transfer. 2nd and 20 now. Upcoming. No, check that. That's wrong.
The foul does include a clock option. Since the clock is under 5 minutes, it'll start on the snap.
So it's 2nd and 15 from the 25. Ashford throws it backwards again. Barnes can't handle it, but pounces on it as he dropped it. Technically, that would have been a fumble, so he had to recover it.
And this far in this game, Ashford has made the right decisions there. That could have been a costly one, and one he wants to avoid. You know, just stay on track. Just pick up positive yards, and you had that at first with your legs. Now it's 3rd and forever here.
Yeah, 3rd and 20 after the backward pass.
And I expect him to be more conservative in this on this part of the field. Hand the ball off or throw a screen outside of Chris Barnes.
Field goal is a win. There it is to Barnes on the screen, and they wrap him up pretty quickly there. My son Pollard read that one the whole way. It was only a 2-yard gain, and Calvert and the special teams unit will come out to attempt a field goal.
Yeah, really good tackle by Pollard. Underrated tackle. You know, you don't know how hard it is to tackle a man like Chris Barnes in the open field. And so, way to secure the leg, secure the tackle, and force him into a field goal.
A 45-yard attempt. He nailed one earlier from 44 yards. He's 15 of 19 on the season. This one is good. Wake Forest capitalizes on the special teams turnover by Delaware. Adds 3 more. 28-7 with 2:15 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Head coach Jake Digger, he talked about starting fast, you know, and they've done that today. You know, they talk about the probability, how, you know, one thing can lead to increasing your chances to win. And they've done that a number of times this year.
They're 7-2 when they lead at halftime, Wake Forest this season.
There you go, George. Johnny on the spot, man.
Well, we got to thank Joe Castellano, our stats guy. He makes me sound smart.
We got an amazing team up here.
We do. Ted Kozak, our spotter. We are very lucky to be flanked by 2 vets. Brandon Raymond back there to field it again. Last time, as you saw, or you may have seen, he misjudged the kick, bobbled it, and then booted it, and it turned into a turnover. Carlson with the kickoff. He pops this one up, And Raymond thought about taking it out. His teammates said, whoa, 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 whoa. Just take a knee, man.
Yeah, he wisely told him, you know, based on like that hang time, we didn't like the operation there. So good job and decision of staying in the end zone.
Because that's an emotional situation for Raymond. He just wants to make up for that last play.
Exactly.
And thankfully, his teammates are like, no.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Just give us a shot here. We got time here to work with. 3 timeouts.
Yes.
2:15 to go plus the 2-minute timeout.
Yep. Yeah, and this is plenty of time to put points on the board if you're Delaware. No need to panic right now.
Delaware's TD drive earlier was 75 yards. The other 3 have only amassed 24 yards. They toss it this time right at the line of scrimmage to Ellison. And no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. This does not look like the offense we've seen from Delaware all season.
Not at all. And even there, George, that like the way that play was structured, you have 4 people in the same area in the boundary. That just didn't make sense to me.
So the 2-minute timeout. We will step aside. Wake Forest firmly in control here on Senior Day. Two-minute warning. Delaware Blue Hens. They had a 43-yard gain for a touchdown by Byron Ellison Jr., their tailback. That was one play, 43 yards. The other 24 plays they've run have only amassed 56 total yards. 2nd and 10 here for Minicucci and company. Play fake. Minicucci checks it down. Nowhere to go. They lost yardage on the play. Donovan Lewis wrapped up immediately by Langston Hardy. The young man, the redshirt junior from Jacksonville, Florida, transferred from UConn. Father Kevin Hardy played many years in the NFL. Timeout.
It'll be 30 seconds
for the Deeks.
Yeah. Way to stay at home for the Deeks there and being disciplined. You know, they tried to throw a screen and go on the outside, and you know, everybody's just doing their job, doing their 111 to the best of their abilities, and that's allowed them to create a negative play
And we saw earlier, this is now the second time the D-line has been out in space making tackles. We saw big Jaden Loving earlier, Langston Hardy, who I mentioned. Although, as I mentioned as well, Langston Hardy's got that good lineage with Kevin Hardy, who was an all-pro level linebacker with the Jaguars, played with Dallas and Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, he studied that a lot, and he comes from a good football background. They talk about his IQ and just his trash talking ability as well. He's one of those defensive linemen.
You defensive players, you all love to talk trash, man.
You got to, George. You got to.
All right, 3rd and 13 here for the Blue Hens. They're in deep trouble here if they don't pick up this first down. Minicucci, pressure coming from everywhere, and they take him down. Newark Gatkuth, Langston Hardy, and Dallas Apalava all met at the quarterback.
That's what we call a party at the quarterback, George. Defensive line, they're all there. And you saw Hardy, because these defensive linemen, man, they take pride in their sacks. And so the first person to touch them, the last guy to end up out the pile, the first guy out the pile, he puts that hand up to make sure that we get it correctly in the stat book.
Wake takes another timeout. Their second. They have one left, so trying to put up more points here and be aggressive before the half is over. It's their second sack of the game. How do you break a sack up like that? Usually you get a full or a half. There's no third sacks.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm up here. I'll leave that to the guys that control the stats.
Somebody's going to get gypped on that play is basically what happened.
For sure. They're all fighting for what they rightfully deserve. Yes, yes. On the Delaware side, though, on that drive, they needed to pick up a first down at minimum, because you left Wake with a lot of time, and the field position now is in their favor.
100%. Brendan Locke at his 1. Carlos Hernandez awaiting it inside his 45. A line drive punt. Hernandez fields it inside the 35, heads towards the sideline, tripped up initially and then taken down just past the 40 to the 43-yard line. Colin Gallagher with the tackle, a 50-yard punt, 8-yard return. But we'll see what Robbie Ashford and the Deeks are capable to do on the offensive side. 28 points in the first half, most since 2021. And the rush yards as well. 225 yards on the ground, most in a first half since September 16, 2017 against Utah State.
Really impressive today with their ground game, and this is their identity. They don't hide it, they don't run from it, they accept it, and look, it's getting the job done this far.
Ty Clark in the backfield now. Clark has 5 carries for 47 yards. He flips sides with Ashford. Trips to the top. Now Clark flexes out to the bottom of your screen at receiver. Low snap. Ashford takes it, throws it, and it's intercepted right in the belly of KT Say. And Say taken down near the 45-yard line at the 46. Ashford, a lot of time, kind of patted the ball, threw it, and threw a pick.
He gave KT Say time to come through and make this play. Just a late throw across the middle, and it's behind his wide receiver Hernandez, is why Say's able to come up with the interception. This is a guy I like in that secondary. He plays that safety position very well in the middle of that 3-3-5 defense.
The previous play is under review for a potential targeting play.
So they're going to review that last play for targeting. That was the first drive without points for Wake. But I would normally say that the targeting would be on Wake in this situation. But we'll see what the officials tell us here as they go under the hood. But Ashford, to your point, Rod, just again late on reading and recognizing what was out there for him. Oh, they're looking at to see if Hernandez got hit. And he did by Gavin Moll.
Yeah, he leads with the shoulder there first. Is what makes contact in my eyes there.
I would agree with you.
He didn't lead with his helmet.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. It's first down, Delaware.
There you go. So John Noli clears that up very quickly for us. Delaware does have 3 timeouts. They can take advantage of this situation here?
They need to take advantage, George, because their defense put them in a good spot. You're at midfield right now, and with the offense that you possess, you should be able to generate some points before this first half comes to an end.
Nate Reed, his career-long, or season-long rather, 51 yards against Louisiana Tech 2 weeks ago in a victory. It was a game winner. 4 wide receivers set here. Minicucci with time. Sidearms one. It's complete to Viron Ellison Jr. Langston Hardy made the tackle. A gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6.
And you see, even when Wake runs zone, they don't give up much yards after the catch.
Minicucci going fast here. Steps up in the pocket, sidearms another one, finds his receiving target, LeBoy, and he picks up a first down as he gets inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. An 18-yard gain, and the Blue Hens in business to have 3 timeouts. With 1:02 to go, they stop the clock briefly to reset the chains. Minicucci, this is more their pace. Ellison taken down at the 20. Darius Webb Jr. and Dylan Hazen locked him up after a 4-yard gain.
And this is the pace that they should be operating at, because look how long it takes for the defensive line just to get set.
Minicucci throws it there to Wilson, and Wilson, the football is loose. It's on the ground. There's a scramble for it. Wake Forest says they have it, and they do. Wow. What a turn of events. Wake Forest defense. Opportunistic. The fumble recovery by Jaden Loving. The big fella having a day.
Completed catch and a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Wake Forest.
And Delaware gives it right back. And Wilson, he turns right back into the teeth of the defense, and it just comes out of his hands.
And I don't like anybody knocked it out.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't fully control it or have possession to begin with.
They are not reviewing possession. Wake Forest is coming out with their offense. So Delaware blows an opportunity there. Wake Forest with 1 timeout. They've got 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Ashford trying to redeem himself. He takes a deep shot, has a man. It's Hernandez, puts it on the money. Touchdown. 79 yards. A redemption moment for Robbie Ashford.
Ashford, just a beautiful pass and throw to Hernandez, finding the man-to-man coverage, and Hernandez just putting his speed on display there, and Ashford throwing it beautifully to him, where he runs right underneath in stride and scores. But he on the other side, George, it's 26 seconds left, whatever it was, 20-some seconds left. You have to keep the roof of the defense. I don't know why you would put them in position where they're man-to-man on the island like that with nobody in the middle of the field to help.
Matthew Dennis with the extra point is up and good. Yeah, I mean, that's really the one thing you don't want to happen. Go over the top. He beat Khalil Ali, but a great pass. Hernandez, he can scoot, man, and you see it there. And for Ashford, that's his 5th TD pass of the season. He was tied for 2nd fewest in the nation among qualified quarterbacks, but throws a strike to Hernandez to extend the lead to 35-7.
And throws a strike indeed, and Ali's playing outside leverage coverage there, leaving the middle of the field open, and he doesn't get out fast enough and stay on top, as I'm sure the coaches told him. And so the result of that was Hernandez running right by him, and Ashford putting it in a place where he's able to run away from the defender.
And you saw Manny Rojas and Ryan Carty, the head coach and defensive coordinator, having some words there.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know why they didn't have a roof over the defense, George. You know, a 2-high shell defense, a cover 2, something of that nature to keep things in front. That's the biggest cardinal sin when you talk about defense in a 2-minute situation.
Caleb Carlson. That one bounces. And it's a touchback, just barely. That one was close to being a penalty. 19 seconds left. Delaware still has the 3 timeouts. Are you just taking a knee here, or are you trying something?
After all of this, I feel like you might as well try something here.
It doesn't look like to be the case, as Ellison Jr. is back near the 10-yard line. No receivers out there either. Ryan Carty has had enough.
Yeah. They have to regroup.
And they take a knee. And that'll do it for the first half. Rod, your thoughts on Wake Forest?
Wake Forest is playing their brand of football right now. They're running the football at an elite level, and they're playing complementary defense on top of it, eliminating explosives and doing their 111 in control of this football game.
We're at halftime here in Winston-Salem. The Deacs lead 35-7. Let's check in with the Huddle crew, Taylor Tenenbaum and the folks in Atlanta. Yeah. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Wake Forest with a 35-7 lead here at a Legacy Stadium. In complete control of the Delaware Blue Hens as we await the third quarter in just a few moments. Let's take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. Rod, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons have done it a lot of different ways on the ground and defensively.
Yeah, just playing the Wake brand of football, running the ball well, getting the ball to their playmakers and finding chunk plays through the ground, and then playing complementary football, playing physical, attack-style defense, creating turnovers, and then tilting the field on special teams, finding ways to impact the game and still a possession. Those are the areas and the reasons why they lead this football game.
And you see the impact they've had. Wake, by the way, offensively, 35 points, the most in a first half since 2020 against North Carolina. And that big play there to Hernandez sealed the deal for Wake in that first half. Nate Reed to kick it off for the Blue Hens. Damon Claiborne back there to return it on senior day. He's electric back there if he brings it back. He's had tons of success, but that time tripped up near the 20-yard line by Max Peterson. Let's go downstairs to Victoria, who spoke to both coaches at halftime.
George, starting with Coach Dickert, I was talking to him about the first half and what he made of it, and he said, look, things got sloppy at the start of the second, and then we had to reset our focus. Our D responded like they had all year, and I told the guys, you got to do your job, stay on it. You've worked too hard to be here. Let's go out and do it for the seniors. Meanwhile, Coach Carty spoke about how they need to take it one play at a time. They haven't played the cleanest. They need to play with each other and for each other, George.
All right, Victoria, thank you so much. Ashford to Barnes in space. And Barnes picks up the first down. And, you know, the Dickert commentary to Victoria, things did get a little sloppy for them in that second quarter at times. But in true Wake Forest fashion, as you mentioned, as we came back from half, Rod, they are a resilient bunch and they can bounce back quickly.
Absolutely. And complementary football, you know, each phase takes their turns and picks one another up when needed. You know, there were times where the offense didn't do what they needed to do. Defense comes back with a turnover.
And Ty Clark with the big run there picks up another first down as he nears midfield. Wake Forest scored on 6 of their first 7 drives. The only drive where they didn't score was an interception. A 16-yard gain there for Clark.
A really good job. And what they're doing, you know, which has helped them as far as getting the ball in their playmakers' hands.
They've certainly done that, partner, for sure. And you've called out a lot of them as to where they'd be going. Clark on the left side. Picks up 4.
And how helpful is it when you have, you know, a back like Ty Clark and then you bring Damon Claiborne back in, you know, who's your starter, that, again, doesn't miss a beat either. You know, it's hard on the defense, you know, to contain both of them.
Oh, there's no doubt. And Damon, obviously a senior. They'll mark him officially, by the way, Clark, as a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 7. Damon, a senior, as we mentioned. Ty Clark, only a sophomore. They love the future at tailback with Clark, this coaching staff does. Ashford on the toss. And a flag on the play. This one to Racanelli. Racanelli picks up a nice chunk of change. KT Say on the tackle, but we'll see what the flag is.
Holding. Offense, number 8, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And that's Carlos Hernandez with the big touchdown earlier of 79 yards.
And Pollard just working hard on the outside. You see he meets Hernandez before Hernandez is ready. And because of his aggressiveness, Hernandez is forced to hold him and grab him and tackle him to the ground. So that's the reason why that flag was called.
2nd and 17 now. Claiborne back in the backfield on the right hip of Ashford. Barnes in motion. On the roll. They throw it to Hernandez. They did have Barnes wide open down the sideline, and they decided to go underneath to Hernandez. A 10-yard gain, 3rd and 7.
And that's a play we saw a lot in the first half, is getting Ashford out on the right-hand side of the field and just finding levels in the flat.
Tons of substitutions for both sides.
They're getting their better pass rushers out on the field, George. It's a critical third down in this second half because it's the first one.
Hernandez on that last reception goes over 100 yards. Ashford slings one. Burkhalter, and pushed out of bounds after a first down. As he gets near the 30-yard line, inside the 30, down to the 26.
Yeah, Burkhalter, they're in man-to-man coverage. Delaware's defense is, and Burkhalter just runs a shallow cross. And the defender, Nate Evans, he gets caught up in traffic, and he's in a trail position, and so it allows him to be able to pick up the big first down because of it.
A 23-yard gain, to be exact. First catch of the game for Burkhalter. 1st and 10. Claiborne on the left side. The hole closed up quickly there. Although he does pick up positive yardage. Gavin Moll went out there and dove into the offensive player to make the tackle, Claiborne.
And Delaware has to find a way to get some more penetration in the backfield before Claiborne and guys like Clark are able to get their shoulders forward and clear the first wave. They have to be able to stop their feet in the backfield a lot more.
A 3-yard gain, pistol formation. Claiborne in the backfield. They give it to Claiborne. And he gets wrapped up pretty quickly by Noah Matthews. No gain on the play.
And there it is, George. Matthews, just a nice swipe, hand over, and he's able to meet Claiborne in the backfield before he gets going.
They will technically give him a 1-yard loss on that one. It'll be 3rd and 8 now. Harry Lodge checks in at tight end. Georgia Tech transfer.
See how they play this, whether they decide to try to pick up half of it on the ground and work to play 4th down, or they pass it.
Lodge in motion. Ashford being chased and runs forward. A flag on the field, though. He gets near the marker, shy by about a yard, but there's a marker at the 25. KTC and Blake Matthews on the tackle. We'll see about the flag.
Offside. Defense number 31. Penalties declined. Result of play will be 4th down.
That one is on Brandon.
Correction. The penalty will be accepted. Replay 3rd down.
Brandon Gorham, true freshman. And the penalty accepted. There's Gorham. Young man.
Yeah. Immediately out the game as well because of it.
Yeah, coach is like, hey, bud, that's it. We're going to have to let you reset for a second. It'll be 3rd and 3 here. Ashford takes the hit, throws it up in the air. Burkhalter comes up with it for a touchdown. A 19-yard score for the Deacs.
Burkhalter coming up big on 2 plays on this drive. One with a shallow cross that picked up a big first down for them on 3rd down. And then another opportunity at man-to-man coverage on the outside. There you see him just be able to stack and stay even with the defender. And then the quarterback, Ashford, just throws it in a good spot over Cox.
5 touchdowns by 5 different players for Wake today. Matthew Dennis, the extra point is good. He sneaks it in there. Ashford got hit as he threw. Still able to muscle it up. Burkhalter with the score, 42-7 Wake. Monday night's ACC Network's women's basketball matchup has number 24 Notre Dame hosting Central Michigan at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Also available on the all-new ESPN app. I was watching last night as Hannah Hidalgo went one-on-one against Kennedy Smith and hit a game winner with 2 seconds remaining in a comeback victory against USC. Hidalgo led Notre Dame with 22 points and 7 boards in that one. She's one of the most electrifying players in women's college basketball. And you'll be able to see her right here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Kickoff here, Wake Forest leading by 35. And another bobble into the end zone. A fumble there by Raymond, is able to pounce on it. But let's take a look at that last touchdown here by Wake Forest. What are you focusing on, Rod?
Yeah, Cox, the quarterback here, his initial movement is good. As his play unfolds, he does a good job at stabbing inside and then gaining control of Burkhalter, facing him out. But right here, instead of turning inside, face him out and be able to knock that ball down. The minute he turned his head back inside, that's when the ball came and allowed Burkhalter to swipe him by to make a play.
Blue Hens with the ball now. Minicucci and company. They toss it to the perimeter to Duplessis. And he stopped after a gain of 4 to the 29-yard line. 2nd down and 6 upcoming. Ladarius Webb putting a web on Duplessis there.
Yeah, Webb is a good corner, man. Just plays with really good fundamentals. And a lot, again, another father, you know what I'm saying, was in the league. And so he learned a lot from Ladarius Webb himself back in his Baltimore days.
9-year NFL vet dad was with the Ravens. A run here by Ellison Jr. He picks up the 1st down. Gets down to the 38-yard line. Gain of 9.
Yeah, Ellison is a solid running back. He doesn't have necessarily the home run ability, but, you know, he'll do his damage, you know, picking up 5-10-yard gains for this offense. And he's able to catch out the backfield, and he's a good running back that protects.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen now. In motion, they fake it to the receiver. Toss back to Ellison Jr. He's got a lane to run through. Breaks a tackle. Gets near midfield, but a flag trailing the play at the 42-yard line. An 11-yard gain. We'll see if it stands.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense. Number 70. 15-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's Anwar O'Neal, the 6'5 junior from Philly. And negates a big play there of 11 yards. He was in space blocking there and got called for the face mask.
Yeah, tough down there, you know, by O'Neal. And then Delaware's going backwards, unfortunately.
And Minicucci being chased off his back foot, throws it away wisely out of bounds. Almost hits a cheerleader for Wake Forest. He's got to get out of the way. Nice job for the cheerleader keeping her head on a swivel there. Newer Gatkuth and Loavician. Zach Loavician with the pressure.
Yeah, Minicucci's not having much time to be able to throw these long and deep developing routes down the field because of the protection and the defensive front of Wake. They have to find a way to protect him more to give him a chance.
2nd and 21. That incompletion snapped a streak of 10 straight completions from Minicucci. On the shovel pass, Ellison makes a man miss, and another, and then met at the 31-yard line. To your point, Ellison has done his part today. He has tried his best. He's got 8 carries, check that, 9 carries now for 37 yards, but out of the backfield has done damage as well. 7 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown. But 3rd and 17 here for the Blue Hens. Greg Spiller now in the backfield. You see him shifting. Minicucci with time, wide open over the middle to Thaw, and Thaw to the 44, but short of the marker. Do you go for it?
You round around that midfield. You got Minicucci, fourth and 5 and less. You know, they showing that, look, you know, Minicucci thrives in these moments. When it's under pressure and you need him to produce a play, he's able to do so.
Delaware, they go for it a ton on 4th down. Coming into the game, they've converted on 14 of 27 attempts. Minicucci being chased off his back foot, throws a dangerous pass. It's complete to Duplessis, and they have enough for the first down.
I mean, really strong hands by Duplessis there. The defender is draped all over him at the point of attack, and he manages to stay with it. And the throw by Minicucci on the run with pressure in his face was impressive too.
A 7-yard gain. Sidearms this one, and Wilson met immediately there by Ladarius Webb Jr. This cornerback tandem of Webb Jr. and Prunty have done a fantastic job today for Wake Forest.
Yeah, both of these corners have played at a high level throughout the course of this year, allowing this defense to play as much single high as they do. Like, you don't play single high if you don't have cornerbacks on the outside that you trust in man-to-man coverage.
Spiller back in the backfield. Minicucci getting it out quickly to Thaw. Langston Hardy with the tackle. Gain of 3 on the play, and 3rd down and manageable now.
And you see those last 2 throws, George. Minicucci's really sped up his process, throwing it fast and quick to not allow the defensive line to have a factor.
This is what we thought we'd see to start the game from the Blue Hens.
Yeah, a lot of just willing, dealing around the field.
They were playing out of sorts and out of character offensively. 3rd and 4. They hand it off. It'll be close to the marker, Spiller, and they'll give it to him. He gains 5 yards on that one.
Yeah, good tough running by Spiller. A little help from the guys as well to get a first down. But if I'm up in the box, and what I just saw, you know, I saw some wide open guys as Minicucci did a fake. There were some open receivers in the flat.
Minicucci. They hand it off again to Spiller. This time wrapped up immediately. Loavician. He read that thing perfectly. 4-yard loss.
We've said his name a couple times today, and being in the backfield, just a good first step and good penetration.
12th play of the drive, 2nd and 14 for Delaware. On the roll, Minicucci. He's got a throwing lane, tries to get it over Nick Anderson, but he got a paw on it. Incomplete. 3rd and 14 for the Blue Hens.
Yeah, there was a crowd of black jerseys around there. Nick Anderson was one of those, just in zone coverage, keeping his eyes on Minicucci and getting his hands up, making a play. And yeah, 3rd and long here. You know, if you're Delaware, you know, let's not try to get all of it back in one play. You know, even if you do run a vertical concept, look for the check down, possibly in this zone coverage, pick up half, and then look for it to go for it on 4th down if you're unsuccessful.
They're 3 of 8 on 3rd downs, 1 of 2 on this drive. Pressure coming backside and incomplete. Jakari Kelly couldn't come up with it. Low pass there. But let's see what they do on 4th down here. And it looks like the punt unit is coming out.
Yeah, too hard to overcome, 4th and 14. And that's why I was saying, George, you know, you try to get half back. And again, you put yourself in maybe a 4th and 6 or 5 position. But 4th and 14, that's too tough.
Fifth punt today for Delaware of 7 drives. High snap. Lock. End over end punt. That one, a good punt, bounces at the 5. Takes a Wake Forest bounce and down at the 8-yard line. Wake Forest firmly in control here, up 35.
college football playoff selection show. The bracket will be filled. Judgment Day is here.
Here's our bracket. Reese and company will update it on Tuesday night. But our current grouping there. The big game this week is Oregon and USC. The winner has a pretty good shot of making it. The loser might be on the outside looking in. That's why game day was there. Biggest game of the weekend. But you see some of those other teams up there. Miami currently needing some help, potentially, but in there as the highest ranked ACC team by the CFP. They lead 20-3 against Virginia Tech at the moment. And Claiborne gets the carry there. Not much. Malumba with the tackle, a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, this was where Wake Forest, again, just try to control this clock, do the ground game, especially at where they sit right now, backed up in their own end zone.
Ashford on the fake, on the roll, hits Hernandez in stride. Hernandez on his horse. Can he get there? He will. Touchdown. 93 yards. Longest catch of the season.
I mean, Hernandez over these last 3 games has really come alive for this ball team. And look, he's doing it in an explosive manner. I mean, a punt return versus Virginia. Number of opportunities last week just like these. Johnny on the spot picks up a fumble, and then he finds himself on the other end of a catch very similar with just yards after catch ability where nobody can catch him.
Hernandez, 5 catches, 197 yards. A 93-yard touchdown there, showing off his wheels. A career high, though, 197 yards for Hernandez and 2 scores. Our Week 13 football lineup continues this afternoon. Duke playing for bowl eligibility, facing off against Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Starts at 3:30 Eastern after us. Then Cal Stanford, the big game for the 128th meeting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Both available also on the ESPN app. Wake Forest dominating here, 49-7. The last touchdown, a 93-yard score by Carlos Hernandez, a school record. And that one booted into the end zone. Let's check in with Victoria.
As Robbie threw that ball to Carlos Hernandez, and before Hernandez even caught the ball, the entire bench in unison was yelling, "Run, run!" And Hernandez just took off, grabbed the ball, and went.
Yeah, Victoria, it was something to behold for sure. Hernandez, 197 receiving yards, most by a Wake Forest receiver in 25 years. Braden Streeter now in at quarterback for Delaware. They hand it off. Not much there, so it looks like Nick Minicucci's day is over. And I don't blame them, Rod. This game's out of hand. You don't want to take him any unnecessary hits.
Yeah, exactly. And they still have another ball game to look forward to. And so, let's now give Brandon Streeter a chance to see what he can do with his reps and his opportunity.
Streeter coming into the game only has thrown 2 passes. 1 of 2, 5 yards. He did throw an interception, so technically he's completed both. Unfortunately, 1 to the other team. Handoff here to Spiller. Langston Hardy brought him down after a short gain. To your point, Rod, on the Blue Hens, they have a conference game to end their season against UTEP, and they will look to go 6-6 in their first FBS season. And it's interesting because when we spoke to Coach Cardi earlier this week, he said, look, if you would have told me in August that we'd be 5-5 coming into this thing and have a shot at a winning season, or at the very least a 500 season, I would have signed up for that. But he was more frustrated by what went down last week against Sam Houston State and the disappointment, because he said, we're not the most talented team in our conference, but he felt like that was one team they were more talented than, and then they lost to them.
Yeah, he felt like they had the upper hand, the advantage, and the game just got away from them. He talked about how, it hurt, it stung, over the course of this week. There was a somber feeling in the locker room, but, they had a great week of practice despite it.
And a 4th down here, they are going for it on a wildcat play. Did they get there? It's going to be close.
It's going to be real close. He may have just the nose of the football may have just touched that first down marker.
Ellison Jr. gets the first down. Dylan Hazen tried to plug it up, but he does get it. So the Blue Hens still doing their best. Minicucci's out, but Ellison Jr. still out there.
Yeah.
As we saw on that last Wildcat play, and he's still in there next to Streeter. Patterson in motion. Play fake. Streeter lets it rip. Goes up for it. Incomplete. And it looked like Sean Wilson went upstairs but couldn't haul it in. Trayvon West in coverage. The backup corner, the sophomore from South Carolina for Wake Forest.
Yeah, good battle on the outside part of the field there, and just fighting to the very end, getting his hand right in the basket of Wilson. And that's where, Streeter just throw it up a little higher for Wilson. Like I said, he's a guy that elevates with the best of them.
Streeter, again, sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee. Drops back. Throws to the sideline. It's complete. And a lot of black jerseys there trying to rip the ball out as we're nearing the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. But a completion there to Donovan Lewis.
And Streeter,
third and short.
yeah, Streeter's doing a good job at stepping into his throws. You know, right now he doesn't seem flustered by any means necessary, and his third is short in a manageable situation to pick up a first down.
Yeah, to your point, you can see the difference in arm strength with Streeter. No shot at Minakuchi again. Number 2 coming into this game in passing yardage in the FBS. The handoff up the middle, they get the first down as they get down to the 46-yard line. Greg Spiller on the carry. And that looks to do it for the third quarter. And the Blue Hens just really trying their best to get anything positive out of this one, despite trailing by 42. Wake Forest dominating on senior day.
Welcome back to Winston-Salem. We got Wake Forest with a 49-7 lead over Delaware. I'm here with Coach Dicker. Coach, you talk a lot about responding. How impressed are you with the way your teams responded today?
Well, we built a certain standard that we want to keep ourselves to the last 11 months. That's what we talked about at halftime. I thought we did that in the third quarter. And it doesn't matter who's in. There's a high standard. We want to go out there and finish this game and get some of these seniors in and obviously celebrate in the locker room.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Deeks.
Gloria. It is senior day. 31 seniors celebrated here in Winston-Salem. Streeter throws it up. Patterson tried to haul it in with one hand, could not come up with it. Samari Stevenson on the pressure there on Streeter.
Really special moment for these seniors, man. And Now, I remember that like it was yesterday. You know, your family's here, everybody that sacrificed so much for you to be in this moment and position, and you want to perform well and go out with a win.
No doubt about it. You know, it's interesting. Coach Dickert talked about coming here from Washington State as Streeter throws that one, and a big hit there. Scott Moore, the freshman tight end, catches it, but Trayvon West with the stick. Second down upcoming. But I asked him about senior day and keeping the guys here. You know, he got here so late in the game in late December, and he said these guys, they wanted to stay here. Even though I was new, they wanted to finish what they started. He still laughs about the first meeting he had here. He said the guys were sitting up in attention, looked like a military meeting, and he told the guys, hey guys, relax. It's a little bit of a different vibe with Coach Dickert. Coach Clawson certainly had a ton of success here, but you know, there's multiple ways to win, and he's done a nice job here in year one. Run there by Spiller, close to the marker. He picks up the first down. But again, Coach Clawson, you want to talk about a man who set a standard here for sure. The last couple years were challenging for sure, but he went to an ACC title game with Sam Hartman, who we saw earlier with Victoria, and Coach Dickert really picking things up again for this Wake Forest Demon Deacon squad.
Yeah, Dickert recognizes the shoes that he's stepping in, the legacy that, you know, again, Coach has created, and so he's up for the challenge.
Ball batted in the air, still going in the air, knocked around multiple times and incomplete. Jaden Loving originally batted it in the air, and then it looked like Streeter, was it Streeter who batted it forward? Looked like a volleyball player on a kill. Let's see here.
Definitely with some exchanges going on.
Loving got in there.
And that was actually Streeter that knocked it back the other way with defenders all over him. Went for the spike.
Yeah. I mean, there's good volleyball action in the ACC too. If that would have been an interception or something, that might have been like a top 10 play on SportsCenter, because there was so many balls bouncing around there. Spiller on the left side to the 39. But good job by Streeter. I will say this, just having, you always say it, Rod, what do you got to do when the ball's up in the air?
You got to bat it down.
Knock it down, man. And he's like, heck, I don't want this pick on my resume.
Yeah. With like 5 guys on his back.
Yeah.
And, you know, to have that poise to be able to knock it down was impressive.
Third down for Delaware, 3rd and 7. They're 6 of 14 on third downs today. Empty set here for Streeter. In motion is Spiller. They give it to him on the jet sweep. Changes direction, goes straight forward. Picks up a nice chunk of change, but not enough for the first down. Miles Turpin with the hit. It'll be 4th and 4, and the offense staying on the field.
Yeah, that was actually a read that Streeter. He should have kept that himself on that play. There was some good amount of space up in the middle of the field, but 4th down, and you know, here you are, your receivers, you're going to have to win man-to-man coverage, and Streeter, you're going to have to get the ball out your hands because this defensive line is disruptive.
The Blue Hens, 2 of 2 on 4th down today. And it looks like another substitution. Spiller going out. And Ellison Jr. back in. 4th and 4 for Delaware. Two receivers split to each side. Streeter drops back with time. Now rolling, pressure in his face, throws it up for grabs. Ball batted around, incomplete. 2 guys almost had a shot at it. Quincy Bryant got a hand on it initially. So turnover on downs, but we have a player down. Player down for Wake Forest. Dallas Afalava, who is a big part of what they do on the defensive front, number 52, the junior from Seattle, Washington. You see the training staff tending to him, grabbing his right leg. All right, we'll step aside as they tend to Afalava. Welcome back here to Wake Forest. They lead by 42 against Delaware. Robbie Ashford's day is done. 15-22, 292 yards, 3 TDs, a season high on both of those. Did have the 1 interception. Deshaun Purdy, is in the game now. Ashford certainly had an excellent game. We'll discuss him a little further here momentarily. Purdy hands it off to Clements. Jamario Clements gets in the game. And Deshaun Purdy, the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, transfer from Charlotte. You see there. But what did you make of Ashford's day, Rod?
Yeah, Ashford, what a way to go out on his senior day. You know, you close things out, finishing on the sideline and cheering your brothers on. It had a lot to do with his decision-making today. He played efficient football, you know, and controlled and operated the offense the way that they designed it. And so, salute to him.
No doubt. Purdy hits his man in stride. Karate Brenson. Good catch there. Purdy layered that one in there. 24-yard gain.
Yeah, good throw by Purdy, and this is, you know, his strength. He's more of the natural passer between the two quarterbacks, you know, where he likes to do his damage in the pocket and still has the ability to also, you know, be mobile as well.
If anything, at times his arm is a little too strong.
Yeah, that's accurate statement, George. And, you know, they talked about, you know, really for him, it's some of his decision making and, you know, making sure his mechanics, he grows in those areas. But outside of that, man, he's a polished quarterback.
Jamario Clements, transfer from Duquesne with the carry there again.
Who, again, has also won them, you know, games this year with him in the starting lineup. So, you know, look, there's no plays off when Purdy comes in the game as a defender. Like, he can light up the scoreboard as well.
There's Dallas Afalava leaving into the locker room. He was hurt before we went to break. And Clements picks up the first down. Let's check in with Victoria.
George, you mentioned Dallas Afalava right there. He was in the tent just up until about less than a minute ago, then slowly made his way to the locker room. He had no cleat on his right foot and was slowly kind of nursing his way in there with the trainers.
Was walking on his own power, though, off to the sideline and then to the tent and then to the locker room. Thank you, Victoria. Dallas Afalava, he's part of the heart and soul of that defensive front. Transfer from Idaho. First carry here for the true freshman, Jamar Searcy from Oakland, California. Pittsburgh High School, a powerhouse up there in Northern California. But Afalava, again, they're playing Duke next week. That's someone you can't miss. I know they have a deep rotation of 8 guys on the D-line, but Afalava is very important to what they do.
Yeah, every man of that defensive front matters.
Purdy with the pull, on the roll, being chased, launches one to the end zone, out of bounds. Intended for Jeremiah Melvin, the redshirt freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hassan Manning Jr. in coverage. 3rd and 9.
Wisely thrown out of bounds. It was, you know, good coverage by Manning on that play.
Manning is in there for Myson Pollard, who has been on the bench for a while. 3rd and 9. Purdy, pressure in his face, sidestep now, rolling to his right. He throws it, sidearm sling, incomplete, too high for his intended target. It was Jack Foley. And you see the arm strength, though, as I talked about earlier. He's got a cannon back there. The accuracy, though, and decision-making at times, Rod, to your point earlier, something that still needs to be harnessed a little bit. Field goal attempt by Connor Calvert. 47-yard attempt. Good from 44 twice today. From the left hash. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up and through. Wake Forest tacks on 3 more. 52-7 for the home team.
ACC championship game. Touchdown!
The ACC championship, December 6th. Here are the chances for each team to make the championship game. Your Virginia Cavaliers still in the driver's seat, Rod.
Man, we still there. We're still there, George, but you know, they call this Atlantic Conference chaos because look, it's been competitive. There's been so much rearranging going on, and this reminds me of the NFL. You know, when you see the last 2 weeks or weeks in the league, you know, there's so many scenarios that have to play out for teams to get in. So, man, you know, you gotta make sure that you tune into all of these games because they all play a factor.
We'll see who ends up in the ACC title game. Georgia Tech and Pitt today. A big contest as Virginia is on a bye next week. They'll face their rival in Virginia Tech, who's losing to Miami. Raymond gets tripped up short of the 20-yard line. I'm sure you know a thing or two about that rivalry, Virginia Tech, Virginia.
Yeah, I wasn't too successful throughout my days, George, unfortunately. So I don't know what it's like to feel a win versus the Hokies. I'm hoping that, again, this year's team can have better luck than I had over the course of my 4 years there.
Yeah, it's been a while since UVA beat Virginia Tech. Streeter drops back, lets it rip. Short completion to Donovan Lewis, but the arm strength on display there.
Yeah, he's able to throw the opposite hash mark all the way across the field. That's not an easy throw at all, and he ripped it in there. And we've seen that a number of times since he's, you know, taken over the quarterback position.
Meanwhile, for Wake, with the 52 points, most points since 2021. Handoff here. That's Jared Porter.
What a way to go out if you're a senior here at Wake. You know, your last debut on this football field, and you know you pour so much into this season and in this game, and you're seeing the results of it right now. And Coach Digger talked about the standard, man. These guys that are out here playing right now still holding true to that.
It's 3rd and 3 here for the Blue Hens. Streeter flips it, And his receiver falls down. The turf monster gets him near the marker.
I believe he fell forward, though, so.
Donovan Lewis does get the first down, barely.
Yeah.
You were mentioning Coach Dickert and what he's establishing here. I asked him, you know, what are you most proud of with this group? And he just said the resolve of the players. You know, how, again, this was not a group that was picked to do much in the ACC, but yet, particularly the elder statesmen of this group, the Devon Pattersons, the Nick Andersons, etc., they've done a fantastic job of holding each other accountable and performing on the field as well.
Yeah, he's reinvented the culture here, and he talked about it's our way. It's not the Washington State way. It's not the way of last year here at Wake. It's the way of this 2025 team, and we have to make it our own. And they've done that. They've really embraced everything that's come with this year, and again, they made their presence felt.
2nd and 5 for the Blue Hens. Porter finds a hole and take it down after he picks up the first down to the 46-yard line. You were talking about it's not the Washington State way, and Jake Dickert was at Washington State the last couple of years, and this team is built differently. I mean, back then he had Cam Ward as his quarterback before he transferred to Miami, and then John Mateer. So he inherited some quarterbacks here. He will have a chance, whether it will be Deshaun Purdy moving forward next year or another quarterback. But we know how much success he has with quarterbacks. Robbie Ashford having the most success he's had anywhere, and he's transferred to multiple places in his career, as Ashford, you know, played at Oregon and Auburn and South Carolina. But here this year under this group, he's had the most playing time and the most success. So Coach Dickert obviously puts, even as a defensive guy, right, puts his quarterbacks in good positions.
Credit to the staff, credit to the offensive structure, leaning on the shoulders of the running backs in the run game to really take some of the pressure off the quarterback. And that's half of the battle, just finding that balance, and they found that over the course of this year.
Built in the dark mentality is what he calls it. You know, it's kind of an underdog thing, and it works for them for sure.
Loves it. And shifted the identity of this defense too. You know,
for sure.
Now they're, you know, ranked, you know, heavily in the ACC and across the nation in a number of categories.
And you mentioned the defense. Scott Hazelton, their defensive coordinator, he told us a great story, which we'll tell here momentarily. But 3rd and 4 for the Blue Hens. Porter in the backfield with Streeter. They give it to Porter, and Porter taken down from behind. An excellent play defensively by Devin Cook. Came down the line of scrimmage and took down Porter.
He attacked the line of scrimmage very aggressively, George, and Cook just took all of the air out and made a nice tackle in the backfield.
4th and 4 for the Blue Hens. They're 2 of 3 on 4th down today. On the roll, Streeter. It's complete. No. Oh, yes, they'll say he held on. But a stick there by William Tackey Jr. They pick up the first down. The catch there by Max Patterson. What a way to hold on to that one.
A really good job by Kelly there. Just caught the ball right into the flat, and they got man-to-man. Saw the motion and jetted him right into the flat quickly.
Jakari Kelly, partner, you're right, with the catch. Streeter lets it fly down the sideline. He's got a man. He can't hold on. Donovan Ellis could not complete the catch to the ground. Devin Cook in coverage.
Man, Lewis, he has to come down with this one. It hits him right there in stride on his numbers. And he just loses it on the way down. But a good throw by Streeter, giving his receiver time to run underneath it.
Maybe the sun was in his eye, who knows? We were talking about their defense, though, Wake Forest. Scott Hazelton, the defensive coordinator, has us saying, forced your way into greatness, basically telling the team the way they've played defense, you got to keep this standard up. They toss it out of the backfield to Porter, makes one man miss and out of bounds. First down for Delaware by Porter picking up tons of yardage there, a 12-yard gain. But Hazelton, as I mentioned, he actually didn't use the word forced your way into greatness. He used a word that's not safe for work or for the air. But I decided to ad-lib for him during the meeting and say, can I use forced instead? And he's like, yeah, sure. But it is about keeping up the standard that they've set every game and keeping that thing moving forward. And every week, pretty much, except for that Florida State game, their defense has come to play.
Yeah, they're a prideful bunch. They're all about just doing their job in order for the man next to them to have success. You know, the simple things, just setting the edge, knowing that I might not be the individual that makes the play, but somebody else is going to make it. All right, the play has no number assigned to it. I just need to do my 111.
We're approaching the 2-minute timeout. A throw and caught by Patterson for a touchdown. 25-yard score, and Delaware gets something positive here in the fourth quarter.
Good timing throw by Streeter. Just a simple zone coverage by Wake Forest, and they run a 4 vertical concept, and he finds Patterson right behind the linebackers and before the free safety in the middle of the field can reach him. There's good placement and good timing there.
The extra point by Reed is up and good. Wake leading 52-14.
The 2-minute timeout.
First career touchdown pass for Streeter. Eastern, and then Cal and Stanford, the big game, 128th edition, starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, both on the all-new ESPN app. And tonight, after that 128th meeting of Cal Stanford, the ACC Huddle Final Score crew wraps up the whole day. Kelsey Riggs Cup and Company will have all the big stories, the breakdown of all the games, and it's also available on the all-new ESPN app. Wake Forest with a big lead here on Senior Day. And they've dominated pretty much wire to wire. And a touchback. Some sad news today for the Wake Forest family. Wake Forest Athletics this morning, the passing of Wake Forest Hall of Famer Rodney Rogers. He passed away yesterday. He was the 2022 Distinguished Alumni Award winner and considered an example of courage, generosity, and humanitarian. Of course, he had a 12-year NBA career, former Sixth Man of the Year in the NBA, and the 9th overall selection to the Denver Nuggets in the 1993 draft. He had a spinal cord injury that left him paralyzed in 2008 and has passed away at 54 years old. Rodney Rogers, may he rest in peace. .570 total yards for Rob Ezell, the offensive coordinator, and Wake Forest. And they're back out there right now. The offense, Deshaun Purdy in at quarterback, spelling Robbie Ashford in this blowout. As we come out of the 2-minute timeout, Jamar Searcy, the true freshman in the backfield, gets the carry and picks up a couple of yards.
Coach Ezell has caught a heck of a game today. You know, just very efficient, man, and putting his quarterback, Robbie Ashford, in the best decision possible. And again, just giving his playmakers the ball and allowing them to do what they do best.
Mason Andrade now in the backfield, as we're getting a lot of carries from a lot of different players and a lot of different players out there in general. Andrade with the carry. And he picks up positive yardage to the 32. Andrade, one of those seniors, getting a carry.
And you love to see that. Every player has a role on this team, and it's encouraging to see when you're able to, you know, now get an opportunity to run the football or line up on a defensive snap, take a defensive snap.
Ryan Henley now in the backfield, but a redshirt freshman. Purdy keeps, and that one is picked off. What a stab there by the defensive player on that one. Nasir Eatman, the freshman from Waldorf, Maryland.
That's a Prince George's County product right there. I'm from around those parts, George, and we got some hands. And then he put them on display there.
He did, yes.
I mean, that's a difficult catch. He went up to bat the ball down, but then, you know, he found himself with the catch.
Stand up for the county. And 29 seconds to go. Only the second time in 11 drives Wake didn't score. Streeter lets it rip. An interception opportunity there. And Devin Cook couldn't come up with it. He did dive for that. And you could hear his frustration afterwards.
Yes, those are the ones you just need a little more speed. You got to hit another gear just to make it. But he had a chance at a free one there.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get one and tripped up a little bit and then dove forward. 24 seconds to go. Streeter with time. Nobody open. Now he's going to check it down to Porter. And Porter runs out of bounds. 16 seconds. Clock stops. 3rd and 7.
And these guys they're fighting to the very end, man, and you love to see it.
Yeah, it's admirable for sure. Streeter in the gun. Patterson in motion. Peterson drops back, now rolling to his left, throws on the run, complete to Raymond, and he's out of bounds near the 5, but picks up the first down. Wake is 15-1 now. Once this thing goes triple zeros in their last 16 games against Conference USA teams. They had a nail-biter early in the season to start the season against Kennesaw State here at home. But they defeated them, and then the victory here. 8 seconds to go. A lot of players in motion here, including Patterson. Streeter drops back. This might be it. Streeter's going to run for it and taken down. A big hit on Streeter by Whitman Whaley, who recovered a fumble earlier. And that'll do it. Wake Forest 52-14, a dominating performance.
Dominating for sure, George, and it was complimentary football in every single way. You know, offense putting up high numbers, defensively doing what they have done countless times this season, and special teams coming through in the clutch and making some timely plays. And credit to head coach Jake Dicker, man, putting his name in the history books at Wake, coming to as a first-time head coach, the winningest head coach with 8 wins.
Yep, 8 wins makes him the winningest head coach in his first year here at Wake Forest. And here he is with Victoria.
You just became the winningest first-year head coach here at Wake Forest. How does it feel?
I'm really proud of these guys. It's about the team. Since the moment we got here, they accepted the changes. They've worked hard. It's a great day for the seniors to send them off the right way, and we got another big rivalry game next week.
If someone were to tell you back in December that this is how the season would turn out, what would you think?
I'll think about that at the end of the season. You know, right now we're just in this one game at a time. Just so proud of our players, our people, our boosters, our alumni. I mean, the people that have supported us all year, the people that believe that this could happen is right there in that locker room. It's these guys. And I'm proud of these guys.
And these seniors, what a way to finish off senior day. What are you most proud of with all these senior class?
You know, today's world, they could have left. They didn't know who I was. Yeah, it just means a lot. You know, guys like Nick Anderson, Demond, you know, George Sell, Dylan Hazen, these guys stayed here for this. Work hard every day to make sure that, you know, their choice is proven right. And today's another big day for that.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Go Deeks.
Thank you, Coach.
On senior day.
Yeah, very emotional. You know, it's all about the seniors, it's all about the players. You heard him. You know, he gives them a lot of the credit, and they deserve it because of the work that they put in. Man, the blood, sweat, tears, all of it is well worth it for that picture that you see on your screen. To be able to walk off this field a winner for your last game, man, means a lot. Credit to every person in that frame and all 31 seniors this year.
8 wins for Wake Forest. First time since 2022. Our final score, Wake wins 52-14 for our entire crew here in Winston-Salem, including Joe Castellano. Our stats, our spotter, Ted Kozak. Our production led by Brett Wilkansky. For Rodney McLeod, Victoria Arlen, I'm George Sedano. Here in Winston-Salem, sending it now to Atlanta, and Taylor Tannenbaum with the Huddle crew.
Hopefully we'll work together soon.
Most definitely. Have a safe trip home.